I got asked a question the other day. I was working with a company. I wasn't working with a company. I was doing a speech, and I was doing some Q&A at the end, and a guy asked me, how do you define character and how do you build it? And I'd actually never been asked this question before, and quite frankly, I hadn't really thought about it very much. And this guy had thought about it, and I talked to him afterwards, and it was something that it was why he really wanted to hear me talk, because he wanted to get my perspective on this. And I answered the question like this. I said, for me, character is not a very complex thing. For me, character is you do what's right. You do what's right. You do the right thing. That's what you do. And if you do the right thing, regardless of what the consequences are, that represents character. And so then how do you build character? It's a beautiful thing because it's the same thing. If you want to build character, you do the right thing. You do the right thing for yourself. You do the right thing for your family. You do the right thing for the people that you know. You do the right thing for your community. You do the right thing for your country. That's what you do. And now, on an individual level, those things are hard things often, right? If those are hard things, you have to make the right decisions. You have to live a disciplined life. Those build character, those little things that you do on a daily basis to make yourself better, to improve your health, to improve your situation in life. You're doing those things. They're hard to do. And when you do those things, they build your character. And ultimately, they lead to your character being a good character as opposed to a bad one. But I'd never been asked that question before, and I thought that the simplicity of it is pretty clear when you think about it. When you think about the people that when I think about the people that I worked for in the military or that worked for me, up or down the chain of command, what is it that made them people that, because there's bad character. We can't sit here and pretend like everybody that just because you're in the military you've got great character. That's absolutely not true. But what about those people? And I thought through this in 3 seconds as this guy asked me this question. I thought to myself, well, what about the guys that I know that have good character, that I look to and say, yeah, this person I trust, without question. What kind of person is that? That's the person that is going to do the right thing all the time, regardless of the consequences.
And a couple of things about that. First of all, it isn't easy. In fact, usually the right thing is the toughest thing. It's the hard decision. The second thing is, it doesn't always turn out for the best when you do the right thing. Lots of times we stumble, and your listeners may think that the three of us, have always, been on the top of the heap, but all three of us have fallen short. I'll tell you this, languishing in prison camp, the first month in that prison camp, I laid there in blood and sweat and tears, and my mental state was just in the tank because I'd given up. Fighter pilots are not supposed to give up. Jim and I weren't trained to surrender. And my mental, the depression that I had just because of that. And I think that largely in life, when you do the right thing and it doesn't turn out right, then you have to get up, dust yourself off, get back in the fray, and that's tough to do. The last thing you want to do when you're getting beat up from every side and you really want to quit, the last thing you want to do is to stand up and be forceful again, to take control of the situation. And yet it's those kinds of challenges in life that build that character, that really make the difference between the positive life, the life lived well, and those guys and gals that don't make those kind of decisions.